Hey, it's Eric with Jazz Wealth Managers, where we don't just invest the dough, but we like to educate you on your dough. Let's look at 5 different things that you could potentially do to lower your adjusted gross income, or options just in general if you're close to the Roth income limit. Now, first we've got to look at what the actual Roth income limit is. So let's go over to the handy-dandy board and let's talk about this for a minute. So if we're looking at Roth income limit, if you are married filing jointly, so that's the first big one that you've got to make sure you're looking at. So with the married filing jointly, as long as your money, your income, your adjusted gross income, that is under $218,000, then you can do the full amount to the Roth IRA, which in 2023, and this is for 2023, $6,500. If you are over age 50 or 50 or older, it's $7,500. Now, if you are a single person, so you're filing single or head of household, the income, as long as you make under $138,000, you're good. There's a phase out period above that, but we're just going to focus on that. Again, that's for 2023. If you are married filing separately, it's up to about $10,000. So it's really not one that you're going to look at much. So what are some options for you though, if you're over or right at that Roth income limit, you're a little bit concerned? Well, one of the biggest things that you can do is you could just open up a standard brokerage investment account during the year. And then at the end of the year, once you find out if you are close or you're actually under the amount, then what you're going to do is you're just going to sell off and then transfer some money over to the Roth IRA. Now, the big thing with this though is you will have sometimes a tax liability, because if you were in a brokerage account and the account goes up through the year, when you sell to get the cash to put into the Roth IRA, you're going to have to pay capital gains tax, and that's actually probably going to be short-term capital gains tax, just due to the fact that if you're putting the money in here and during the year, you transfer it during that same year, then that's where that's going to fall into play. So just remember that one. Second one we've got would just be to fund the Roth, hope for the best here. If you end up being over, you would have to check during the tax year. So make sure that you're looking in December to make sure this. What you can do is you can actually do something called a recharacterization. Yeah, something like that. So what the recharacterization is where you're going to actually take the Roth and then you're just going to move it over into a traditional IRA and say, hey, you know what? I actually didn't do this as a Roth this year. Mark it all as traditional. That's how that's going to work. The problem with that is, there's always a problem. There's always a catch with these. But for this one, the problem with it is if you have an employer plan at work, you're making over the income limit, obviously, for the Roth, what's going to happen is then when you put it in the IRA, it's not going to be a tax deductible contribution. So it's not going to be tax deductible. So if it's not tax deductible, that means that then you're putting in post-tax money in the IRA. When you go to actually withdraw that money later on, there's a whole nother thing called the pro rata calculation that comes into play. Again, it gets really confusing. An easy one to do, if nothing else, is just wait. You could just wait until the end of the year. That's always an option. You look at what your tax return is going to be. You could actually you can wait all the way up until the filing deadline. So you have up until April 15th for that, just to figure out if that's going to be one. Another one that we could do, this is one option, though. It can still get a little tricky. You got to be really careful. And I only say that because you can increase your 401k contribution. So to the pre-tax, so contribution, pre-tax, yeah, something like that there. The tricky thing there is just making sure that you're doing just enough, but not too much, because if your whole goal is to do Roth or after-tax money, you don't want to throw everything in the 401k and have to increase that to a point that you're not going to have an income coming in. So if you don't have the income coming in, you're kind of stuck on that one. So that's the tricky part of that one. The fifth one, and really the one that we talk about all the time, is the backdoor Roth. Backdoor Roth's a great option if you don't have an IRA with any money already in it. If you don't have the IRA with any money in it, you can put the money into the IRA and then convert that to Roth. That's the backdoor Roth strategy. So those are 5 different ways that you can look at. I'm sure there are others. Let me know in the comments if you think of another one and a cool way, so that our followers can always check those out as well. But if you haven't yet, check us out at jazzwealth.com. Be happy to help you with any kind of investment needs. Thanks for watching. If you want to watch more FinTips videos, click here. Be sure to like and subscribe also.